In a nutshell, speech number 7 from the Competent Communicators Manual is about two things. One, collecting information from numerous sources, and two, supporting the main points with facts. Therefore, previewing my thesis lends itself naturally to this speech. However, just want to forewarn everyone, there's one major caveat. What you're about to see today may morph into a completely different animal. How many of you have done a thesis before? Quite a bit. So you know. You know what I'm getting myself into. You know the pain. You're going to see today where I'm starting. Who knows where we'll end up. But for now, the title of my thesis is increasing... Say again?
Turn the clicker on.
The on button definitely helps. Increasing the Navy manager's internal control program's capability to prepare for external audits. As far as the introduction, I'm going to share with you today my purpose, the areas of research I plan to conduct, what the Navy is doing, what the industry standards suggest doing, reveal my 4 research topic questions, and what I think the problems and possible solutions are. The purpose of my thesis is threefold. Increase the Navy's capability to prepare for financial audits, identify the Navy's management internal control program shortfalls, and determine if updating the program's manual, which is called the MICM, you know how the Navy is, we like to abbreviate a lot of things, determine if updating the manual will help commands achieve audit readiness. The areas that I plan to research is what is the Navy's roadmap to auditability? What is the Navy currently doing? And bounce that off against what the industry's standards suggest doing regarding internal control. And then I'm going to analyze the differences between the two through a comparative analysis. And from all that, I'll get recommendations on how the Navy can better achieve financial auditability. I'll put a little graphic up here for you. This is from a briefing that I got a few weeks ago for one of the higher-ups that's in charge of helping make this happen, of getting financial auditability in the Navy. Don't need to memorize anything on here. The reason why I want to point it out is that we're on a road until 2017 to make this happen. It doesn't seem like that long of a road, but let me tell you, we have been doing this since 1990. It's over 2 decades. How long does it take to put a man on the moon? Like, what, 8 years or something? So we're still trying to get a clean audit opinion on our financial statements. The DoD is only one of 24 federal agencies that has yet to do it. There's so many different problems and challenges with us getting there that there's a lot of different thesis potential opportunities and research that can be done. So I'm going to narrow the focus down and focus on the internal control portion of it. The industry standard for internal controls is set by COSO, and in a nutshell, to summarize their volumes of framework, they have 5 components, and they recently updated their framework to embed 17 principles within the 5 components. That was done in May 2013, and then a few months ago, the GAO followed suit. It took them about 1.5 years to update their manual, but the DoD and the Navy hasn't updated their manuals to reflect these current changes. And that's the area I want to explore, because as of now, we're without the new 17 principles. There's no quiz on this. The only reason I put this much detail up here is just to show you that the new framework has 17 principles. In the green is the 5 pre-existing components. So the Navy is still stuck on those 5. Now there's new 17 principles within there. So I have 4 questions that I'm planning on pursuing. One is, how does the Navy's Management Internal Control Program currently prepare commands for achieving audit readiness in regards to internal control? Like I said, there's a lot of different areas I can go, but I want to focus on internal control. Secondly, what is the current guidance for internal control framework for organizations and federal agencies? The COSO I mentioned focuses on organizations around the world. The GAO focuses on federal agencies, and the Navy has not updated theirs. The third question is, what gaps exist between what the Navy is doing on their current guidance and the updated internal control framework? And 4, how would updating our capabilities and manuals to the current guidance help commands achieve audit readiness? Without having dug into the problem, here's what I perceive the problems to be. Congress, as I mentioned, they mandated that we get a clean audit by 2017. We're the only one that hasn't been able to do it. Commands are not ready for these financial external audits. They feel threatened. They don't quite see the value of why it's important to them. It can just be another inspection. And this could be a whole thesis in and of itself, so I may recommend it for further study. Pawn it off, someone else research it. I'm planning on focusing more on this. The Navy, Don is not like Don Free, Don is Department of Navy. Just put it out there. Don has not adopted new professional standards. He's my mentor, so I can get away with possible solutions I'll find, obviously, when I go through everything, is update the manual, update the guidance, update the training, and one added benefit that I think can come about is reduce fraud, waste, and abuse. We obviously want to abstain from such things. So in conclusion, I went through the purpose, my areas of research, what the Navy's doing, what the industry standards are. I shared my research questions and problems and proposed solutions.